What was your favorite impression? I mean, I know my favorite one, you know, of yours on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite that you did?
I don't know.
Do you have a favorite of his?
No, you know, they
would just
get
do
so
whatever
carried away.
came up.
You know, I loved when he did me, but he was fucking destroying me.
Yeah, but you would.
But you would write the
And then I would
jokes.
help, which was like.
But
you
then
know,
I would say-
I'm like, what am I doing? You know?
No, it was so beautiful. I'll tell you why I thought it was so beautiful. It was like surrealism. It was so surreal. It was like the Twilight Zone. Here's this guy. You know, I could be Rod Serling. It's like, you know, consider, if you will, one Jackie Martin, like a funny motherfucker. But then comes a spitting image of him is funnier. You know, and he's writing the jokes for his own image to torture him with. That blew my mind.
Nobody could wrap the. It's like when people used to say, how can you let Howard say the horrible things he says about you? I'm like, I write a lot of the horrible things they say, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't even believe it. You know, let alone wrap their brains around. But that. For all the craziness and the shittiness of that show, we really all were all for one and one for all. Even though he was a dick about it. Not you, you know, Big Bird. but it was you know, the best, the most telling story of everybody's in this, you know, for the good of the group. When I just started on mornings, you know, everybody told, you know, you learn very quick that everybody, you know, everything's fodder for the air and everything goes. Like when I first started mornings, I would walk in sometimes,
share something,
and walk across town, and I'd be, you know, and sit down and go, oh, fucking Nancy's driving me crazy, Jesus Christ, you know. And then, you know, because we're guys, you know, it's a we're men in the locker room, not to be Donald Trump, but we're right. And all of a sudden, we're on the air. Oh, Robin, you should have heard him. Oh, Nancy this, Nancy that. I'm like, oh my fucking Lord.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But then I'd forget, and 2 months later I'd come and say, oh, that fucking whore. Yeah. We're at it again. So you learn to tell him stuff that you want.
Yeah.
I used to make up, I feign stories.
Right. So because he's going to shoot him back.
And I would be ready to fight my own story.
Right. To defend. But when we first started mornings, I came in one morning and I said, I got to tell you, I had a really realistic sex dream about Robin last night. And I wasn't making it up, you know, like if it wasn't true, it didn't, it was no fun on the air to make shit up. You know, there was always truth.
Well, that's the genius of Howard. Everything was real. It wasn't. I mean, he was the first reality show.
Right.
You know, and
so I said,
he was the only one who made stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. His version of the truth.
Yeah. So
I said I had a really realistic sex dream about Robin. It was really, really wild. I got to tell you, and he used to love the fact that I would flirt with Robin and throw her on the couch and hump her leg. And meanwhile, I'm doing like, you know, she's like the chick in your class that, you know, you're not interested in, you're just friends with, and you're fucking being an idiot with her.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, you're really horny for him. Like, what the fuck planet? But he doesn't know from that because that's not. He's not from girls and guys, and he doesn't know from that.
Yeah.
That's not his, as Mason would say, that's not his field. So I said, oh, it was great. And a couple days or a week later, fucking Robin came in and said, Howard, I have to tell you the truth. I had a really wild sex dream about Jackie last night. And I said to myself, now that's taking one for the fucking team. There's no reason in the world for her to share that. And she wasn't making it up. She had a wild sex dream about me, and she talked about it on the radio. And I thought, we're all in this together. That's not to mention I was flattered. You know.
What do you mean? That was like the only thing, you know. I mean, of course, she was always honest about herself.
You know.
I mean, she talked about taking a shit on herself when she was jogging.
And then I dreamt about
about
shitting on her while she was jogging.
She talked about she was jogging once and I don't know, she was eating all these like fiber diets.
Quit eating.
You know?
There was nothing better than when she talked about going for those fucking high colonics and watching her shit go by in the tube. Oh, my heart used to stop. Like, holy crap.
Well, she would fall for every scheme. Even now, I don't know. Did she call you? She did a new one.
Oh yeah.
Hallmark, it's called, Bill.
The
And
life, the forum.
I get a call out of nowhere.
For what?
I was actually here. I was actually, like out front of this place, and I get a call from Robin.
Yes.
He just said Robin.
Ours, I'm having a problem with lately.
That's all right.
And she's like, I just want to say I'm sorry if I did anything on the show to upset you. And I'm like, what? She goes, this is a part of a program. It's not like
Howard and Ralph like going.
No, it's not AA. It's like it's
a whole thing.
And I said, well,
forgiveness is a whole.
What, like a therapy thing?
Yeah, and I said, no, you didn't do anything.
It's called the forum.
Yeah, I said I'm not mad at anything, but except for the fact that she betrayed me when I left. But I said that's the only thing, and then well, she always
That happens to you a lot, huh?
What?
All this nonsense with people.
No, when I gave my notice to leave, I was on the phone with Rob. She called my wife first and said, John's doing the right thing. John's doing the right thing. John's,
Oh, John did the wrong thing.
No, but she even said that, she said to her that he should look over his shoulder, people are going to leave. And that even she's thinking about doing her own thing. So that's what she was saying, said the same thing to me. And then cut to the next morning on the show, and Howard, I can't believe he's leaving. Totally.
Wow. You just turned her into Aunt Jemima.
No, I'm doing your impression of her.
No, don't drag him into this.
Fuck that.
No, nice.
No, but that was the only. But she always falls for these little programs, and like Howard always fell for those things. And now he has with this
apologize to everybody and give us all your savings. Okay,
accept all credit and delegate all blame.
That's all there is to it.
No, but I have no problem with Ron. That's why. But she called Grillo. She called KC.
She took me to lunch. I thought, wow, I'm going to lunch. This would be wonderful.
Oh, and then she apologized to you?
Yeah, yeah. And then at the end of lunch, would you like to sign up for the forum? And I actually went. She was, I forget what it was, but I thought I was going to go and there's going to be 50 people there and they're going to do a sales pitch, like a presentation or whatever. And I went to her apartment and it was like me and her and I think the woman who roped her into it. And it was like they double teamed me. And I'm like, I walked in and said, listen, I'd love to eat your food, but I'm not up for this horse shit.
No, but she was always doing colonics. She's always always something new.
She's trying to,
She's a work in progress.
Trying to find the magic combination. She had no idea that it was about that long and it's a cock.
Yeah. Oh, I used to, every now and then she would start talking about how she doesn't like this guy anymore, and she goes, "You still going with that guy and everything?" And I'd be like, "Robin, come on, Robin." and all of a sudden, Howard would go, get it going, and I was like, Howard, Robin, I just love you, and I'm gonna put rose petals in your bathtub, girl. And she's like, and I was like. And then I'm going to massage you, and I'm going to massage your feet, and you're going to feel very, very good. I get going just thinking about it. So then I keep going, and she loved it, and I went, and then I'm going to put my face between your legs and go.
So great.
Yeah.
I forget at what point, and I don't know how. I have no idea how it came up, but the next thing I knew, she was telling us about when she was, I think, in Boston, and she was jogging, and she met a guy, and 10 minutes later, they were in a public bathroom, and he bent her over the sink and fucked her in the ass. And she told the story, and me and Howard are like, our jaws, it wasn't like anybody was even prodding her. And this is, I think, long before I think she put it in her book, but it wasn't, I think we were just all sharing stories. Like, oh, did you ever get in the butt? Did you ever do anybody in the butt? You know, there was one time our assignment was to go home and ask our mothers if they ever had anal sex. That was our assignment. Like, and of course that's absurd. Of course you're not going to ask your mother. And I think I actually went home and said, Mom, you know, you want to hear what I was supposed to ask you? And she was like, oh, it's the out of his blah, blah, blah. But we came back in.
And what was your mom's answer?
No, I'm having it right now. But you know, Howard said, like, you know, Jackie, what'd your mother say? And I said, she said, you're out of your mind, you know? And talk about a soldier. Talk about take a bullet for the team. And Fred, what'd your mother say? And Fred said, she said yes.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
And we're like, he asked his mother if she ever got it in the ass, and she said yes, and he reported in like.
That is like
how do I compete with that? You know.
And Robin just telling a
You know,
story
he's admitting that his mother gets it in the ass, and I got the nerve to ask for more money. You know. God damn. When he said yes, I swear to God, it was like. Like E.F. Hutton just said his mother got it in the ass, you know.
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Yeah, they feel it.
That's an ancient commercial, by the way.
Yeah, I remember that commercial.
Whatever.
This was before you were a stock trader. Those commercials used to be on TV. You were sitting in your own shit, probably, and there was only 3 channels on TV.
No, I remember the E.F. Hutton.
Yeah?
E.F. Hutton. Yeah, whenever they said E.F. Hutton. Everyone.
Oh, that shit, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
I keep forgetting. I look at you like a little kid, though.
Well, that's the whole problem. Everybody does. You know.
I'm 66, so there might be
Oh,
something.
you're older than that.
Somebody asked me how I'm doing. A lot better than I deserve.
No, but we used to have a lot of fun in that. And I know I did the impression. You know, Billy used to.
Oh!
There was this one guy, you know, Steve. Is he still alive, Steve?
I would not know.
But he was this guy that he was very eccentric.
He was an engineer. He
was a very, very overweight old Jewish man that was grandfathered in and they couldn't fire him.
Yeah, like he is the eventual voice of Wood Ye. Like that's how he
Well,
talked.
I listened to him one day and he said, you know, I got so much to do. There's too much to do. And I said, well, don't you do anything in your spare time besides, like, become the what do you call it, put upon engineer all day? He used to put his head in the wall and go, there's too much to do. And I said, you know what, he sounds like if you called Woody Allen at home.
Oh, that was your idea?
And you heard really what Woody Allen sounded like, you know, well, I have a gun collection. You know,
and he really had a gun
did,
collection.
and I was going, he has a gun. So would you go use him or anything? No reason. You know, and I told Howard, hey, just talk to Steve. Just have a conversation with him. Call him Woody Allen or something.
Wow, I didn't know that was you.
But this guy would come in and sit there.
But shake.
A big, fat, old engineer, and I would write stuff for him. He used to thank me at the end of the show. He'd say, thank you for writing big. So
He was a gentleman.
But I'd write, there's nothing like the sweat of a yellow adopted daughter dripping on your penis or something like this. But I'd write it and hand it to him. And the timing would be exquisite, but not for any reason except the only way he could deliver this thing was he would have to read the whole thing
That's what
and
was
then go
funny.
back and read it. So the pause was longer than anybody would ever have. And then he'd read it and we would fucking die. You know? Oh my God.
Yeah, 'cause it was
and he
like-
would read whatever it put there, you know.
No, that was one of the best. I didn't know that was your idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was talking to him, and I really wanted to talk to him because he was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was very nice.
He was,
And he talked to himself.
But he was afraid of his own shadow.
But he was the kind of a guy that if you said something like, you just said, hey, tomorrow's my anniversary, or something. And he would remember that the next day, and he'd like give you a little card or something, congratulations. He's just an old world guy, old values.
Like if I was on the elevator with him,
Yes.
it wouldn't have been nothing to say, and he'd go, thank you so much for writing big so I can read. Oh my.
I love how he didn't care about
And he
content.
made Scott look like an Olympic athlete.
Yeah.
But you remember, but when we'd be in the studio and Bill would do his impression, because Steve would come up to the window. You remember that there was a window on the production, and he would just, you just see his eyes. He was the original guy from that show with Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Neighbor?
Yeah.
This was Steve. The production studio had a door and there was a glass window, but you had to if you were small like me or him or something, you had to like look up. And who used to do that a lot was the program director, that
Mark Chernoff.
niggling little program
fucking
director.
troll.
Yeah, and you would see him like look in the like a rat. He looked like a rodent. And he'd be like, hi, girls. Every morning you'd hear, hi, girls. It's like, did you ever get some new material? And you get mad,
This was on the air, and I don't think, I've brought it up to people, and nobody remembers it. And Mark Chernoff was like a superstar wherever he came from. He was like a big hotshot program director somewhere. Like, he's this little fucking twerp.
Yeah.
But it was a big coup to get him at K-Rock.
I know. All those guys worship something that we can't never get our minds
and
around.
He came in his first day and introduced himself. And I don't know whether it's my idea, Howard's idea, or whatever. But the point was made to him that everybody on the show, all the guys on the show, have shown their cock to Howard.
No. What happened was Chernoff in his pants always looked like he had a big cock. And he wanted us to help with Hungathon. And then one of you guys came up with the idea that
everybody has shown
Train
Howard.
yeah,
So he went in and
so he went to the
showed it
bathroom and showed Howard his
and
cock.
then he found out that nobody else. It was
It's like Scouts, Boy Scouts.
Right.
Yeah, did you ever drink your own pee? Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all done it, right? And one kid goes, yeah, I did. Oh!
You slob!
Didn't you and Fred do that with somebody with the homo room?
Everybody does say.
Yeah, like everyone's had some homo experience, and somebody said they did.
Everybody's lying. Oh! It's so fucking horrible. So great.
Do you remember one time I was doing that character Red, and he was bitching and carping and moaning about something or other about his days in Vietnam or just some crap we made up. But in comes the weight loser girl, the Weight Watchers?
Nutrisystem?
Nutrisystem.
Yeah.
She comes in, all right, it's time for Nutrisystem, and we get Miss Nutrisystem coming in here.
Yeah.
And she comes in and she goes, and she's like, 5 more pounds. And I think you said, like, I wouldn't gain any more. And then she said, yeah, looking good. And I was Red, and I was going to make a comment, but he writes me the comment to say to her, and it said CT.
Like cock teasing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I read it as C+. It looked like C+ to me, and I went, C+. And it like took all the thunder out of the success of the program. The program was suddenly worth a C+. What do you think you are coming in here? You're no A. You're a B. You're nothing.
You're C+.
Why don't you find an open window and jump out?
Oh, it's fucking great.
Do you know that one of the Nutrisystem girls? Do you know who it was?
Who?
Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston.
Was she the one?
She was a Nutrisystem
but
girl. I don't know if she was the one.
She came on and Howard
She's a
said, what do you
now."
do? She said, I'm going to be an actress. Yeah, you're going to be an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's hanging out with her at the beach.
Yeah, that must be comfortable.
Well, that's the thing. I called to be back on the show. I called because I was coming, to New York to do the show, and I called Baba Boo and I said, hey, if you want, I figured I owe you this to be, I'm offering to be a guest. And Gary said, Tom, we wouldn't know what to do with you anymore. We just interview celebrities now. The show is completely different.
This is recent.
Yeah. No, and he said, I'm sorry, John, we wouldn't know what to do with you.
Gee whiz, I don't know. It's just I don't know anything about the show. Nothing. I don't know who's on there. I don't know who comes in. Or, you know, it's just I was so busy that the minute I left my house, I was at work for a few decades.
Do people complain to me about the show?
No,
Not
I get
about
it.
me going or anything like why does he do this? Why does he do that? I'm like, give it it's 20 years.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago I didn't know. Jesus.
It's like
Christ.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. There's these little kids that weren't even born that are fighting about what I said to you and who said what to who, and he's lousy. He should be punished for that. And it's like, but these guys, it's weird. If you go on the internet and you look up like anything, like the Ladies Flower Society, it's like advice and women, biddies. It's like, oh, I plant my azaleas in the winter because they start showing up in spring and then they're perfect by summer. Well, my narcissus, and the daffodils, they're similar in a lot of ways, and then all of a sudden you'll see, fuck you. And it's like, why don't you just write, hi, I'm 13. So all those kind of kids were on the Stern Show forums.
Oh, God,
and they couldn't have been around when this stuff was going around, and they must listen to reruns.
Oh, no, they play us on a regular basis.
Oh, do
No,
they?
well, you know what it is? There's hardly a thing you can mention that's not on YouTube.
Well, that's true, too, but
all the Channel 9, everything you can name.
But anybody on Sirius, they replay all of us on the show,
But now people tell me that they replay us less and less and less and less.
Well, that's the thing, because now there's a red flag.
That's how
list.
history's supposed to work, though.
Yeah. But no, I know I'm going in, but the best Nutrisystem story is Jackie's.
Do you know?
You have another one?
Do you know his Nutrisystem story?
You got his.
No, I want to hear this.
This is the best story.
Sure.
I used to make deals with Nutrisystem. I would lose weight for money. And I'm just going to fudge the numbers because I don't remember exactly, but I think I had to lose 20 pounds for $20,000, but in 5-pound increments. Like when I lost 5 pounds, I got $5,000. And at any rate, it came down to where my last weigh-in, the last plateau I had hit was 185, and to get the last 5,000, I had to be 180. Now, when I started doing this, they thought they were going to get 4 or 5 months of great promotion out of my weight loss. But I was a fucking maniac, and I swam and exercised and didn't eat, and I lost so much weight so fast, it was frightening. And it was falling off me. And the girl was coming in on Tuesday to weigh me, and I was very close to 180. But on Friday, we were going to California for a week where everything's on the arm at the Four Seasons. The shrimp cocktail and the Bloody Marys and the steak and the cake and the ice cream and the drinks. And that's going to be on Friday, and I'm so close to 180. Oh, and then after the week in California, we had 2 weeks summer vacation. So, like, the concept of staying on Nutrisystem wasn't even addressable. So I had to get to 180, and I was in the ballpark. But I knew if I was like, I can't say cunt here, but if I was the tiniest amount,
Swedish one.
if I was a Swedish cunt here above 180, that I wasn't getting the money. And Gary and Howard, they're not giving it to me. And especially Nutrisystem girls not giving it to me because I practically ripped them off because I did it so fast.
Oh my God.
And so the day that I'm coming in for the weighing, I woke up in the morning, and at the time they were redoing my kitchen, so there's electric wires hanging. We got like 3 or 4 cats, and I lied naked on the kitchen floor and gave myself an enema. And the cats are looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? I went in and shit my brains out and gave myself a second enema. Honest to God, a second enema.
In the K-Rock bathroom?
No, this is in my bathroom at home. Shit my brains out.
Just one way, or
I put on I put on silk pants, a silk shirt, no underwear, and I got in there. No, I didn't eat, didn't have a sip of water, not a fucking thing. And the girl came in, and I was right on fucking 180, and I got the $5,000, and I think I gained the weight back the next day.
Well, I see. That's weird because Gary also gave himself an enema when he was on the Bally's weight challenge in the Bally's bathroom. He must have got the idea from fucking you. I didn't know that.
Must have
But
been
you never
after
stopped
my-
doing it.
No, but the
You never stopped doing it, though, right?
The enemas?
Yeah.
Oh, you ever try?
fucking, and he's calling Robin
I
weird
haven't had a
for the
bad-
fucking colonics.
I haven't had a bad Friday night in 20 years.
No, but Jackie, that wasn't the story I was telling. The story that made me laugh is when they opened the door to the hotel room.
Oh, yeah, well, we got to California, and I called room service, and I called
Afternoon, like
shrimp cocktail and a huge steak and a couple of Bloody Marys and ice cream and cake, everything you could imagine. But I was sitting, I had it on my bed, and I was sitting there naked. And then the guys, were you there?
no.
Gary and Howard and Fred came in the room, and I would look like a fucking caveman. I would love to recreate that picture. Oh, man.
Because you and I were on Nutrisystem. Did you ever get the whole? We would lick the wrapper just because that's how bad it was.
And it was aluminum foil, so you could cut yourself.
What's the matter with you guys?
Oh my God! But of course it worked because there's no food.
I know.
You want to lose weight, you don't eat. There's no diet. Just don't eat. Stop fucking eating, and you'll be surprised.
You sign up with two companies, the Weight Watchers and Calorie Loser or whatever, and just take them both on.
It's crazy bullshit.
That is funny.
Oh man, I
You do that for $5,000.
I can remember looking at those fucking cats looking back at me. I'm like blind. I'm laughing, you know. I mean, giving yourself an enema.
He's laughing.
Yeah, the cats are like going.
It was like it's 4:15 in the morning, and I'm on my side naked,
Aye.
shoving that thing in my ass.
That's like going
great.
for some kind of surgery or something.
Didn't Nancy used to give you your preparation H tubes in your ass?
That was very early on.
Yeah, where you going? Where you going with this? Where you going with this?
I think she actually did that once or twice, but I never stopped talking about it. She put my preparation H on.
And she would insert the preparation H into his ass.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's a relationship.
Did you fart like a bagpipe after that?
Blew it right out. God, that's so long ago. I don't know if I made that up or not, but it's such a good story. I'm pretty sure she did that.
I remember once when we were in Philly. I don't know if you were there, Billy.
I was there for the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rittenhouse Square.
Yeah. And Jessica Hahn was in there. That's when I jumped in the tub. You guys claimed the water turned black after I jumped in.
Fucking, we threw you in.
Yeah, but
The tub was full, and we're waiting for Jessica in, and we just grabbed John and threw him in, and he was in the tub for 5 seconds, and he got out, and the water was black. We had to drain the tub and start over.
He's like a tea bag.
a shit bag.
But when we were on the bus home, I don't remember, Billy, when driving the bus home, we had Jessica Hahn gave us a piece of lingerie, and I slipped it into your bag and closed the bag up.
That whole fucking thing made it into the movie. Yeah, I got home, and Nancy, it's a miracle I'm not dead, and she was gonna kill me, and she ran out of there. And I was freaking out that I didn't know if she was driving. I was worried she was going to kill herself. I don't know what the fuck to do. And I'm so hungover and freaked out. I mean, because I was so drunk. And I was like, and I open up my suitcase, and there's this damp pink negligee. And I'm telling you right now, if that suitcase had opened with her standing there, I would be dead. There was no explaining it. And it would have meant, what would that have meant? Wouldn't have meant anything.
Well, I didn't think that it would be that bad.
No, just because of the volatility of the situation, not because of it. But in the fucking Private Parts movie, Allison finds wet panties in the glove compartment.
Oh, and
You
that's...
never made that connection?
No, I never thought that was it.
Maybe I'm crazy.
Wow.
I thought you found them and then you buried them in the back.
No, what I did was she pulled out of the driveway and took off. I didn't know if she was going to her mother's, whether she was going around the corner, whether she was going to drive to Italy. I didn't know. All I know is I had this thing and I had to get rid of it. And I ran out, my backyard is the size of a postage stamp, and I ran out back and threw it over the fence. and then I eventually, I think I went back and got it. But I couldn't be digging a hole. I mean, it was like, get it the fuck out of here. And I'm sure, I know I was, as horrible as the whole thing was, I was smiling because the whole thing was so fucking
Well, you didn't
horrible.
do anything
I didn't do
wrong.
anything.
No, you didn't do anything.
No, it was
Yeah,
so
but you
great.
can't. It's very hard to make someone like get their mind around that.
But you still have to apologize.
No,
just wanna take this-
but that's the whole great thing is that everybody was
You
so,
there, Drew?
That was it. The
Everybody-
tears of a clown.
Everybody was so pissed off at her because they thought she berated me and that she had nothing to do with that. I was like, I did that because the therapist said, listen, you better get her on that plane to Italy,
Yeah.
and do whatever you got to do to get her on the plane. And since her friends had told her that what went on the Stern Show, I
Yep.
figured maybe it'll get back to her from her friends that I did this nice apology. So I did that of my own accord. I'm not saying it was an ass.
I know,
me
but
being an asshole.
but it sounded
not only was
sincere.
I an asshole, it couldn't have been more sincere.
It was very sincere.
It was absolutely.
He's like,
Don't make a mockery of it.
stupid thing, and I'm done. You sure are.
The shot heard round the world. But the bottom line of it
Just
is,
take this over too.
we wound up on the plane, and the therapist said if you get her on that plane, and half hour after you're on the plane, it'll all melt away. And we got on the plane and we went to
No, I'm sure.
went to Europe for a couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, you didn't do anything.
But yeah, you tell that to the Marines.
No, I
It was
know, I
fucking
know.
Crazy. He made it sound like we had a full-scale orgy up there. That was his genius.
Yeah, but Howard was married at the time anyway. He wasn't going to do anything,
He threw my bachelor party.
Oh,
At
really?
Scores. Yeah, when I was going to get married, he threw that. He said, hey, what are you doing? I was ready to leave the station. He says, why don't you stick around for a while, and so I hung out for a while, and all of a sudden he says, we're going over Scores.
I think that was the first time we were at Scores, wasn't it?
I don't remember, but we go there, and I'm not sure what's going on, but here he is. He's like setting the stage to throw my bachelor party, which was pretty cool of him. We had that phony red money.
Scores,
Yeah.
scores dollars. Right?
What do they call
it?
Scores bucks.
Funny money.
Funny money. Funny money.
Not as funny as you saying it.
Oh God. So here's this funny money, and he gave us stacks of it. I remember there was a couple visits there where you got stacks of
Yeah,
stuff.
God.
And I
But
gave it to
you sit there, and this girl with these huge fake bare tits comes over and starts rubbing your legs and rubbing you, and like, you want another dance? Yes. And by the third dance, she's whispering in your ear, yeah, I have 2 kids in Fort Lauderdale. I'm trying to put them through college. I'm like, oh my, yeah.
I used to get knee jobs. The girl would just put a knee in the groin and keep on moving around till
Rub
you
you
came.
She ain't supposed to do that.
I told my
You must have felt very special.
I told my ex-wife, I said, that's what, I'm going to be honest with you, that's what they do.
You know what I used to do? And I used to throw away my
I
T-shirt.
guess that's why she's my ex-wife.
You have to throw.
I would bring a T-shirt, and I would I'd take off my shirt, and I'd put on a T-shirt, and after we left Scores, I'd throw away the T-shirt, and I would literally wash myself in
Oh,
beer.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Because Nancy's so used to having me smell like a fucking brewery.
rather beer.
Rather beer.
Than fucking...
That perfume and love juice.
I had blood shuffling all over me. Bullshit, you were drinking.
Ha ha ha.